Alright guys, here's the review of the summer assignment. The first part is evaluating each expression. And whenever I put numbers in for a variable, I'm always going to put it in parentheses. So this goes as 2 squared times 5 minus a negative 6. And I'm going to do my order of operations, which means my exponent is first. 2 squared is 4 times 5 minus a negative 6. The double negative, 4 times 5 is 20 minus a negative 6. And then 20 minus a negative 6 is 26. My second one, we're going to put the numbers in. Negative 6 minus 2. And then, let's move this over. And then we're going to put the s in, which is 5 squared. Negative 6 minus 2 is a negative 8. 5 squared. So we deal with the parentheses first, then the exponent. Negative 8, 5 squared is 25. And then negative 8 times 25 is negative 200. There's my answer. For my third one, 3, we plug the r in, it's 2. We plug the s in, it's 5. And it's all over t, which is negative 6. 3 times 2 times 5 is 30. So that becomes 30 over a negative 6. And that answer reduces to a negative 5. And then the fourth one, we're going to plug my s in, which is 5. My r in, which is 2, and if you notice, I always do it in parentheses, over r times t. 2 times negative 6. 5 minus 2 is 3. Parentheses first. Now we go to my exponent. 9 over 2 times negative 6. Then it becomes 9 over negative 12. And I want to reduce that. So it's going to be negative, oops. We have negative 9 over negative 12. Over negative 12, which is going to reduce to negative 3/4. And if you notice, I put the negative sign in front of the fraction. You don't leave a negative sign in the denominator. You want to move it to the front of the fraction. The last one, which is probably my longest problem, 2, 5 squared minus 2 times 5 over 2 to the 5th minus 3, 2 squared. 5 squared is 25, so 2 times 25 minus 2 times 5 over 2 squared, which is 32, minus 3 times 4. If you notice, I deal with the exponents first. Then it becomes 50 minus 10 over 32 minus 12. Now we do the multiplication. And that translates into 40 over 20, which translates into 2. And that's the first page of your summer assignment workbook. So now we're going to erase and come down to page 2 here. So part 2. When it's addition, we just combine the like terms. 5x squared and 3x squared is 8x squared. 2x and negative 5x becomes negative 3x. Negative 1 and negative 6 is negative 7. And notice I'm combining like terms. When there's a negative sign, I'm a big fan of writing the first part first, first parentheses first, and then distributing that negative. And now combining like terms. Don't skip that step. That way you don't make careless mistakes. 14x squared is negative 7x squared, 7x squared. Negative 7x and negative 12x, negative 19x. Negative 15 and 7, negative 8. And there's my answer. Down here, we're distributing and combining like terms. Negative 66x minus 18 plus 10x minus 5. And then you combine the like terms. Negative 56x minus 23. Same deal here. 20x minus 4 minus 7x plus 14. We get 13x when I combine the 20x and negative 7x. We get plus 10, we combine negative 4 and 14. And those are your 4 answers to section 2 of this summer assignment. Erase and scroll down. Well, I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but this is where I'm at right now, so that's what we're going with. So now we're going to simplify each expression here. And now you're going to be distributing and foiling. Here we're going to distribute the 3x to all 3 terms. So 3x times 5x squared, 15x cubed. 3x times negative 3x, minus 9x squared. 3x times 7 is 21x. Here we're going to FOIL. 10x squared plus 14x minus 5x minus 7. And we combine the middle terms. 10x squared plus 9x minus 7. And if you notice, FOILing is something you're going to have to be able to do efficiently. 2x times the 5x, 2x times the 7. Negative 1 times the 5x, negative 1 times the 7. Here, in the next 2, we're going to be FOILing. 9x times 9x is 81x squared. 9x times 2 is plus 18x. Negative 2 times 9x is negative 18x. Negative 2 times 2 is minus 4. The middle terms cancel out, and we're left with 81x squared minus 4. Whenever you have a binomial squared, you absolutely have to write it twice. You do not distribute the square root, or the exponent. You do not distribute it. You have to write the parentheses down twice and FOIL. This becomes 16x squared minus 36x minus 36x plus 81. 4x times 4x, 4x times negative 9. Negative 9 times 4x, negative 9 times negative 9. It's FOILing just like you did in the previous 2 problems. And then we're going to combine our middle terms. And that should be your answer. Down here, it's like FOILing with an extra term, so you just distribute to all 3 terms in the second parenthesis. 7x cubed plus 21x squared minus 35x. That's 7x times x squared, 7x times 3x, 7x times negative 5. Now I distribute my negative 3 through all 3 of them. Minus 3x squared minus 9x plus 15. And we always finish by combining like terms. 7x cubed, 21x squared, and negative 3x squared is plus 18x squared. Negative 35x and negative 9x is negative 44x. And 15 is positive 15. And there's my answer. And that's how we simplify each expression. All right, so we'll erase here. Scroll on down to our next section. The next section is solving equations. Okay, we'll do deal with the fraction ones at the end. Here, I'm just adding 8 to both sides, dividing by 3, my x equals 6, and you can always check them. 3 times 6 is 18, minus 8 is 10. Here, negative 18x plus 6 equals 10. Negative 18x equals 4. And we subtract the 6 on both sides. And my x equals negative 4 over negative 18. Remember, we don't leave the negative in the denominator. So this becomes a negative 2 ninths. put that negative in the numerator or in front of the fraction. Here we're looking at negative 3x plus 9 plus 7x equals 12. I'm going to combine my like terms. 4x plus 9 equals 12. 4x equals 3. And my x equals 3/4. And that fraction already is reduced. Here, I'm going to subtract 2x on both sides. I get 3x. I'm going to subtract 7 on both sides. I get negative 8. And my x equals a negative 8/3. Here, distribution. 4r plus 16 equals 7 minus 2 plus 4r. Combine your like terms. We get 5 plus 4r on the right side. Okay. The 4r's cancel. Okay. When you subtract them, and I'm left with literally a false statement. That's the example of no solution. So if you eliminate all the variables and you're left with just numbers, that's a no solution. And here I'm going to get rid of the fractions. I'm going to multiply everything by 4. 3x plus 28 equals x plus 4. Subtract x, I get 2x. Subtract 28, I get negative 24. And my answer here is negative 12. And that's solving for the solution, or solving for each one of their x's. As we move on. The bottom two here with the fractions, I'm going to multiply by a GCF. Or excuse me, not GCF, an LCM, lowest common multiple. If I multiply these all by 14, I get rid of the fractions. 14 divided by 7 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. I get 2x. 14 divided by 14 is 1 times 3 equals 3. 14 divided by 14 is 1 times 5. I get 5. 2x equals 2, and my x equals 1. Here, I'm going to distribute the 1/2. I can also do that. I think that might be a little easier here. 3 times 5 is 15 minus 3x. 1/2 times 4 is 2x. 1/2 times negative 8 is a minus 4. And we add 10. Now I'm not dealing with a fraction anymore. Negative 4 and 10 is 6. We add 3x, we get 5x. We subtract 6, we get 9. And my answer is 9/5. And that's the solving equations section. Our last section is a factoring section. In factoring, we're either taking the GCF out. So in this case, I can take a 6x squared out. And we're left with x cubed minus 3. Sometimes taking a GCF out is all you can do factoring-wise. Same deal here. I'm going to take a 4x out, and I'm left with 3x minus 5. And those are your answers, and that's it. Now here, I can factor. My factors of 2 are 2x and x, so I'm going to put them right down right away. And now my factors are 12. I'm going to try 4 and 3. Negative 3 plus 4, and I'm going to check the middle term. 2x times 4 is 8x. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. 8x and negative 3x is a positive 5x. For number 26, when you have two perfect squares here, usually it's going to look like this. It's going to be the same thing in each parenthesis. My factors of 4x squared are 2x and 2x. My factors of 5 are negative 5 and negative 5. And I'm going to write this one as 2x minus 5 squared. Here, it's a difference of 2 squares. My middle terms disappear. X minus 7, x plus 7. And here, and down here, it's 5x plus 6 times 2x minus 1. And we're going to go over these last two in class. Unfortunately, I won't have time to finish those last two.